Now, did Hank also have family members that supported his vision to come here?
He did. He had a few sisters, Betty in Nashville. She was supportive. And the sister in, what's the sister in New York, turns out? Yeah, she knows, but he's got another sister in New York State that was alive. I doubt if she's alive at this particular point, but they're both supportive. His whole family was supportive.
Oh, great.
And in fact, his nephew, Charlie, still comes up here and does some work every now and then. Supportive for June's. Charlie still come up?
Which
Hank's son's
Hank's
nephew.
Charlie? Nephew?
Oh yeah, he's coming.
Still coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
So he became more and more involved with the Peace Pagoda with that.
Yeah, Hank's family quite activist friend, and they understand Native American friend. So somehow they're so happy.
Hank's family, I believe this is correct, originally from Texas. And then they moved to Vermont and had a farm up in Vermont. This is when he was a child. And then, of course, over here in Troy, where he worked, did some accounting, I think, for a iron company. He did some books and accounting for them.
Ah, okay.
One of the old iron works that are totally dried up right now that used to be in Troy. Putting Troy on the map, actually.
Yeah, that's how Troy got known. Their steel. A lot of New York City buildings got steel from Troy.
So much came out of Troy, and all that wrought iron work, the real fancy stuff.
Beautiful,
all made there.
beautiful artwork.
Yeah. But, yeah, Hank was a good egg, real good buddy.
So this is very interesting. Town people is very conservative way, but is one day is Jin Ashito-san, one of our supporters friend. Jin-san found by internet is Grafton town has a historical society, and every year they're asking some essay.
Some essay.
Essays, yeah.
To
For the library.
writing about Grafton. So some of young men, he wrote about essay about Peace Pagoda, and he got #1. And his background is military guy. He graduated West Point, and somehow he's so happy about this Peace Pagoda. And the historical society give $500 to him.
For winning the essay.
Yeah, and I found one day, because I heard from Christian is one of a friend, he was working the library that time.
The old sign.
And Christian said, Grafton artist group people making some mosaic, and inside mosaic, and I saw the Peace Pagoda. So I don't know where they put it, but I found it.
It's in front of the post office,
Next
isn't it?
post office, and between senior center. And they're very respectful way. In the winter time they take because mosaic is very casual. So winter time they move inside.
Excellent. I have to say that the town was, a lot of people were very against the pagoda at first. Some people in town, not all, but some people have warmed up. They come here, they walk, they do, but they enjoy the Peace Pagoda at this point. It's maybe a small percentage, but it just shows how human life is and how things can be turned around. It's just slow coming.
And I realize Grafton town has now like a site of Grafton, what's going on stuff, and some of Christian minister made it Peace Pagoda site. And they write it about Peace Pagoda. And many people read it, this Grafton town information from town information. and this minister write it very nice way.
Uh-huh.
That's good. There's at least one in town that's going to be nice.
Yeah, I never.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting where many years more and more, town people open
Mm-hmm.
to the pagoda.
Ah.
And even like not same idea of party, this party, this party. Some have many different background people, political ways against this.
Mhm.
But it's when I start walking around pagoda under the corona time,
Mhm.
and I decide walk 6 miles every day,
Mhm.
and all around neighbor, and I saw many support Trump flag, and I more realized this town is.
Mm-hmm.
But many of this, and neighbor people, when I walk, they're waving good morning, and the bowing, and
Mhm.
some
Nice.
of supporter friend, Trump supporter friend call me, Jun-san, you have a firewood, I have lots of firewood, I sending to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
this is about Peace Pagoda.
Mm.
So it's very wonderful way to the, even like this side or this side, that's not about world peace. So
Mm-hmm.
it's wonderful way to, under the corona time, more realize, and this community around 6 Mile area, everybody so happy to, and the corner of post mailbox,
Mm-hmm.
they have a new couple, young
Yes.
couple.
A new box out there.
No,
Yeah.
a new couple living in.
Used to
Oh,
be,
in that house near
Yeah.
the mailboxes. Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
and Mildred's house, Jordan's.
So those young couple, and they lost the cat.
Mm.
So they're putting everywhere cat. We lost cat.
Mhm.
So I realized this cat is connect this family. So when I walk around, I visiting them. To your cat is, you find your cat?
Mm.
They say no, but I hear you are drumming every day, and this is very healing to me.
Mhm.
So it's very wonderful way to the new friend, old friend,
Mm.
to
Connections. Yeah.
somehow something connection to inside something. So that is I very appreciate Hank-san chose to Peace Pagoda here. So
Good to hear that.
So,
and now is Joshua-san.
mhm. Well,
Can you
he's
explain your
Your
children?
your children, Joshua. How many children do you have?
he's got three kids. They're inherited kids. His,
Oh,
yeah. His girlfriend from childhood got divorced later on in life, and he's taken on 3 kids and a wife at this particular point, and that happened when he was in his 40s, or 35, 36. So
And
we're
Joshua
kind of proud of him
involved
for taking that on and
oh, that's great.
doing a good job.
Yeah, Joshua involved to the Daikon Pond.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
environmental coordinator for Cornell
Oh, great.
and for Dyken Pond. Yeah, he's learned so much about nature, so much. Yeah. Glad to see him educate himself.
Jun-san, do you remember when Joshua was probably kindergarten, first grade age? You took care of him for me.
Mhm.
Because he was going to a private school, and so he got out for the summer a couple of weeks before I finished teaching in public school. And so he used to come over and spend the day with you while I was teaching. And you had him start a garden over in the field where the Peace Pagoda is now, but it wasn't there at the
Oh
time.
yeah, tiny Joshua's
Yeah.
garden.
I also remember you coming over to our house when you first moved here, and we didn't realize that you knew how to play the keyboard, Jun-san.
Oh, really?
Played the
I didn't know
played the
Jin-san knows
keyboard a
how to
little
play
bit.
Oh,
keyboard.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Josh
oh,
just
yes.
had a little toy piano, but
Ah.
you played for us
She did
on
pretty
it.
good.
It was beautiful.
Really, Jin-san?
Wrong time.
We were impressed.
Okay.
It's wrong time.
Hmm.
And wonderful when the Joe and Cindy san moved to nearby pagoda in the ceremony time. Many monks and nuns
Mm.
stayed there.
Oh, they stayed at your
Became the
place.
official.
Actually, it's the only reason I built the house over there. So it was a hotel for the Peace Pagoda.
Peace
Oh,
Pagoda
wow, that's
B&B.
great.
That's what I.
Grafton Airbnb.
That's
we,
right.
we shared it, but we have fun. A lot of wonderful people stayed with us. I remember Tom Banyaka once stayed with us.
Who?
Tom Banyaka, the from Hopi Prophecy.
Oh,
Mm.
Thomas
Last
Vanyak
year.
stayed
Yeah.
at house.
Stayed at my
Wow.
house.
Actually, at our old house,
Our house.
before we moved to
For
Crandall
4
Road.
days. He came up and stayed for
oh my
about 4
gosh,
days.
that's amazing.
And of course, Dennis Banks.
Dennis stayed at your house too.
Oh God,
Several
yeah, he was a
times,
freaking
yeah.
flyer. Probably 5, 6 times, maybe 10. I don't know. Yeah, and
Really?
yeah, stayed quite a bit. Well, he used to come in his trailer here, and then one time he asked me for any movies, if I have any movies, because he wanted the VCR, and I said, Dennis, if you want to do that, you got to come up to the house for that. Next year he came up, so yeah, and stayed at the house rather than in his trailer. He's getting older, and people need more comfort, to sleep. And yeah, he's a nice guy to have around. It's just really fun. Yeah, and of course we had movie producers from Japan that
Oh
came.
yeah, movie producer.
Yeah,
Wow, you remember.
yeah. Yeah, I remember almost everybody that came.
So you watched this movie, Hopi Prophecy?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Very
Yeah,
good movie.
I have a copy at home.
Mhm.
And it's telling times now on how well that almost gives us a retelling of their story on where we are now between the pandemic, technology, and how man is splitting into two parts.
Mm-hmm.
Very,
Yes.
very, very concerned.
It is very concerning. Uh-huh.
And now is Gandram people. Is one of Gandram office friend. I forget her
Lois?
name. She is a part of daughter of Gandram. Father is Gandram.
Not Lois. What's her name?
She's
Yeah, Lois was the mother.
maybe 60 years old area. And she's a
daughter.
part
Ingrid.
Ingrid. Yep.
Yeah,
Ingrid,
town clerk. She's one of town clerk.
Yeah.
So one day I walk around nearby Gandrams last maybe October area. Keep walking every day.
Right.
So she just drive up and almost she drive up nearby Gandram factory.
Mm-hmm.
The wood, how to say?
The wood fact. Yeah, the
Wood,
wood mill,
yeah.
sawmill.
So she just stop and come up from car. She said, I listening every day your drum and I so enjoy, she said. And she said, so I said, wow, because so noisy, your machines all days are like moving. And you heard my drum? And she said, yeah, I hear very well. And she's so happy, she said.
Right.
Well, that's one of the things that I missed very much when we moved to Great Barrington
Oh,
was not being able to
They-
hear your drum
Yeah, we.
and see your light bobbing.
Your headlights.
In the dark going down the road here. You just see this light going like this, and you hear the drum. 4:30, 5:30. No, it doesn't matter.
That's great.
oh really? So she said, whatever you need help, and please tell me. If you need toilet, please stop our office. And very wonderful to the Gandram area is very much more different side. Oh, that's very interesting. But we are all friends. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's more and more interesting. Whatever keep work, even like small circle,
Mm-hmm.
it's more everybody become family.
Yeah.
So,
You're one of my oldest friends, turns out. I've known you for a long time now.
yeah.
I've learned a lot from you.
I learned a lot from you too.
Mm.
And I remember one of free school, not teacher, he's a parent, and he's a one of supporter of free school parent, and he start coming with Peace Pagoda volunteer, and Lou-san, Lou.
Rule.
Lou.
Oh, Rule, yeah.
So Lou is amazing guy. He said, I'm carpenter guy, but I am not interested in making the rich people's toilet. So whatever he
being
has
funny.
time,
Being
he
funny.
has time. He organized young people to bring to the Central America or those areas to building community by construction.
In
And
Puerto
so
Rico.
you are involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Can
was.
you explain this story?
Oh boy, let's see. I met Rule working up here at the Peace Pagoda. He was doing various things, and he had mentioned that he was doing some work at that point. He was thinking about going to Guatemala to do some work, mainly to bring water into villages. So that was the main focus of it. And I said, well, I'd kind of like to go down there, but I don't want to do any water work, but I'd like to do some medical work down there. And from that, the group did, for the first 2 years, they did some carpentry work and medical work. And then after that, for the last 8 years, it was all medical work. Everybody got involved with it, and we're training indigenous people on taking care of upper and lower respiratory infections, diarrheas, things that were more pertinent in the community. And we did that, trained the same people. We had 12 original that came, and we trained them over the 10 years, just reaffirming their skills, et cetera, each year. And after the war ended, I think it was in 1998, 1997, down there, the government asked us to train 12 of their people. So we did that as well. They weren't as good as the indigenous folks that we were training. I have to say that. They were not as vested in the process. So that was Guatemala.
And in that original group of it was 12 villages that each, the people in the village came together and chose one person from the village to be trained.
Oh, I see.
We don't go there and say, well, we want you. We go to the village elders and say, we would like to offer this to you, but this type of training. But also, we want to learn something from you at the same point. That's where the service learning technique comes in. So we're learning from them, we're learning about their culture, and we're also providing a service for what we're learning from them. So it's a good exchange. And it was a good program. That came to an end, I think, around, 2005.
Yeah, many of my friends, Peace Pagoda side friend involved, like Chris Paramino.
Chris, yes, I had him come down to help. Chris was also an RN. Yeah.
He's a drummer.
He made this drum. He's a taiko drummer.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him lately. I know his leg is real bad.
Yeah, he came to Peace Walk and supporting our work.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
So he's walking okay again?
Yeah, he did good job.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because when I talked to him, he had a big flap. The whole muscle was
Oh, wow.
in real bad shape, and his calf had got, I think, gorged, falling off his bike. But he's a great guy. He helped with a lot of the training sessions down there. Yeah. And we also had, I think, probably usually about 5 or 6 volunteers as well that came down, which we taught them how to use a stethoscope, you know, all the things that they need to be able to make sure that the indigenous folks, when they were using them, to make sure that they were using them appropriately and knowing what they're listening to. So it was a good project. Got me out of town for a month every year.
And you connect the Hawaiian friend to go to Hawaii.
Oh, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I met Eric here at the Peace Pagoda.
He loves digging.
He loves to dig.
Used to love to dig, yeah.
Whatever digging, he's so happy.
But he's over on the Big Island now in a town called Pahoa. That's where the volcano was exploding,
Yeah.
pretty much. He's on the outskirts of that, between there and Hilo.
He
And
has
that's
a physical situation, so
he does
he
now.
couldn't connect this air.
cystic fibrosis.
Oh,
But it's a contradiction, Junsan. He can't stand the air here, but the air in Hawaii is worse
uh-huh.
because of the VOG from the volcano. They call it VOG.
So it's a lot of sulfur and other
sulfur
minerals
dioxide
that are in the air.
that are in the air, so that actually makes it worse. And he's doing pretty good. I mean, he had a very light case. I think his girlfriend had it real bad.
Huh.
Yeah.
He has electric engineer person, electrician. He's an
He
electrician.
used to be an electrician. I was going to say he doesn't have any electricity. The last time where he's living now, no electricity, no water. He carries some water.
Yeah, but he's a radio. He creating radio and local radio.
A local radio, probably in Pittsfield.
I don't know, in Hawaii.
Oh, in Hawaii.
Hilo.
Hawaii and
Is he doing
Hilo.
that now?
Uh.
Well, okay, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, I haven't talked to him in about 2 years. I think at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's me all Peace Pagoda, funny friend.
Yeah. Now you have a friend on the Big Island too.
Oh. All right, let's pause.
The Buddhist Peace Pagoda.